Yeah!
Woo woo!
Fist fights! Fist
fight.
fights in the United Kingdom, Manchester. The Co-op Live hosts tonight's UFC 304 pay-per-view event. Although if you're going to the event, is it technically tonight? It's actually tomorrow morning. God bless all of you who are going to be staying up till all hours of Sunday morning for this event, as we welcome you to the People's Pre-Fight Show to get you ready for tonight's pay-per-view extravaganza. I am Mike Heck, and joining me, the baddest stash in all of MMA, producer extraordinaire, the chair spinning fool himself. Let's see how many spins of the chair we get from Casey Leydon. What do we got?
Ow. I hit my Bulgarian bag. One.
There it is.
2 championship fights. Yes, you get 2 championship fight spins for this because it's a great card. I'm excited to be here, and I twisted my ankle, so we're good though. We're good.
We have our first injury of the evening, and with the watch party being at the Michoud Mansion, there might be a second, possibly a third. So do not miss the watch party kicking off at 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. You see the countdown? The countdown, Casey, is actually not accurate because if you go on,
when's it start?
If you go on 6:15 p.m. Eastern time, so we need to add 15 minutes to this bad boy.
I can do that real quick. Yeah, I wasn't
UFC
sure.
just doing the thing.
All right, 6:15. Ooh.
Yeah, so we're going to give you an extra 15 minutes of fun and question answering enjoyment. So, you know how this works. It's the People's Pre-Fight Show, which means you tell us what you want us to talk about, and we will discuss. Super chatters, you get to the front of the line because you're VIPs. I mean, you're all VIPs, but they're a little better. JK. The last stand 001. Can Belal defeat the Luke Thomas stat of fighters who challenge for titles at 35 years or older? So this actually fits the statistic because it's welterweight and under. 35 and older have only won over the last, I don't even know how many years, maybe it's ever, have only won 2 championship bouts, and both of those are named Tyron Woodley, Casey. So is Belal the guy to become number 3 on the stat?
I didn't even think about that. I did not think about it. He's Belal was 37?
36.
36? I think he's a young 36, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but you know, there are a couple people on our staff that are going for the upset. So I think there are some believers that I don't think people are thinking age is gonna be a major factor as far a major factor against Belal. Do you?
No. I mean, it could be. I mean, Belal hasn't fought since May of last year. It's been 14 months since he's fought. And he looks in incredible shape, probably the best shape I've ever seen him. So I guess we won't really know. I don't think it's going to play too much of a factor in this fight. But honestly, even if Belal was like 32, the same age as Leon Edwards, I would probably look at this fight the exact same way. So, yeah, I don't think he does it tonight. If he does, it wouldn't be the most shocking thing I've ever seen. But I would be surprised if he beats Leon Edwards tonight.
Yeah. For Jed, it was this lock of the night. Like of all of 13 fights on the card or whatever, he's like, oh, this. But if he had to pick a favorite, he's like, he just did not see a way that Belal could win this fight over 5 rounds. So that would be a big shocker for Jed. But you're kind of, I'm kind of, I mean, I'm going like 70. Like they fought 10 times. I think 7 times Leon wins. No,
yeah, I kind of view it the same way because I listened to Israel Adesanya's sort of prediction for the fight, and I kind of view it the same. I think this is Leon's fight to lose. If he doesn't show up, he loses. If he shows up, B+ Leon Edwards or better, he wins. But if he has an off night, Belal can take advantage of that. So should be interesting.
Yeah, Belal's pretty consistent. Like we almost feel we know we're gonna get every time. Yeah, but that's kind of that's one of the hardest part being a champion is like you have to show up every time. There's like no off nights. But Leon's only fighting once a year. Is it? He's only gonna fight once this year, right? When did he fight last? I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I feel like I should
Belal?
know this. Yeah. No. Leon.
Leon fought in December, the Colby fight.
Kobe fight, and he probably won't be fighting the rest of the year. I would assume. Maybe do you think they could fit him into this year?
Probably not.
Yeah,
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think Belal can win. I don't think age will be a factor either way. How about that?
Fair. Thank you.
All right.
Last stand 001.
All right. I lost my questions.
Do Mike and Casey think there were fears that Manel Kopp wouldn't make weight? Now they're kicking off the TV prelims. They're kicking off the TV prelims? Is that where it is? I thought it was on the early prelims, unless they moved it.
Either way, it's really early in the card. I can't recall.
Let me take a gander.
Outside of women's flyweight, I can't recall the UFC ever giving a number one contender in the men's weight class this far low on the card. I don't recall that in a very long time.
If it happened at flyweight.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe when Ursag who would he beat? Was it
Matt
Schnell? Where was that? That wasn't this. That wasn't this.
That was the main card.
Yeah, it was the main card. Yeah,
There's also an Apex card.
Yeah, but yeah. An Apex card too. But that fight going into that, we didn't think it was a more contender fight. But this fight going into it, we kind of know what it is. I'm still kind of shocked, and I guess the only thing that people are saying is like the UFC didn't believe Manel Kopp can make weight, so they were afraid to promote it on a pay-per-view or higher on the card. Yeah, did Dana give an explanation for this?
Which is honestly, I don't want to nitpick the press conference and stuff, but how do you not ask Dana about this fight, the card placement, and then them getting in a fight at the freaking hotel? Like, how is Dana not asked about this? Like, he wasn't asked about it at all. So super weird. I mean, I'm sure he's going to get asked about it tonight at the post-fight presser, but it just seemed like, hey, what's going on with Manel and Makayev? Like, they just got in a fight in the hotel. Did you see it? And why is it was on the main card? Why is it not on the main card anymore? And at least we'd get an answer that we'd probably just kind of shrug our shoulders at, but at least we get something.
Something, yeah. I mean, he'll say something.
At least it got moved up a couple slots, and it's on the ESPN portion of the proceedings now instead of the third fight on Fight Pass.
Yeah, it's my people's main event. It's been the whole since it was booked. This is outside the title fights. This is a fight I'm without a doubt most looking forward to. So,
do you think? Let me ask you this: do you think Manel? Like, you and I have been driving the Manel hype train since minute one. I believe Manel Kopp was on the first episode of the old What the Heck show. He's a hothead. He's a little crazy, that man. Is there a chance that I expect, honestly, probably the UFC will have like a whole shitload of security people in there, but is there a chance that once the second dude gets into the cage that they start fighting like right there and this fight just doesn't happen? Like this, there's some heat on this, like real legitimate heat.
Yeah, maybe a Makayev's part, but I think Manel, he knows what he's here for. He made weight. He did all the hard work. He ain't gonna blow it by. Yeah, he looked great. He's not gonna blow it by throwing a sucker punch before the actual fight starts. He's been in this game for a while too. So, yeah. I don't think
on the stage. It was incredible.
I like it. I can't wait for this fight. I can't wait for it.
That's a good one.
All right. Thank you much.
Kenny, Mike, your idea for Tom to call out Alex is great. Yeah, the winner of this fight should call it Alex Pereira. Steal John's food. That'll get his attention. Don't even mention John's name. Call it Alex.
Yeah, and just you're the champion. Just and anytime a media member says interim champ, just go champion. Just go.
I'm sorry.
Do it.
Yeah. Do what Izzy did. Do what Izzy did.
Yeah.
Like when Izzy was the interim champion, he called when he beat Robert Whittaker a title defense.
It's like, that's a title defense. I like it.
Yep.
Man, does Alex? Do you think this has some real heat? His next fight being at heavyweight for a title, or are we kind of just saying this for fun?
I don't think it's out of the question. John is going to call it. If John beats Stipe, and I expect he will, he's going to call it Alex. There's no doubt about it. He's going to call it Alex. The question is, do you shelf Pereira for the rest of the year? That's the question. I mean, they're loaded the rest of the way, especially if they get Conor back in December. If that fight actually happens, they are friggin' loaded because we're getting Izzy DDP. We're getting Sean O'Malley Marab and then Grasso Shevchenko 3. We're probably getting Holloway Taporia in October for the first one. We're getting Islam versus Arman in the other pay-per-view in October in Abu Dhabi. We're probably getting John Stipe in November. And we're probably getting Conor and Chandler in December. It seems to be the plan right now. The only way you could squeeze Alex in there's two spots. One, if Conor can't go, you call up Alex to save the day again, and you throw him in there with whoever is ready. Or you book Pereira in the co-main event at MSG against Ankalaev underneath Jones and Stipe. But Alex can headline his own card. So it's a weird spot for him to be in. And if anybody deserves to take the rest of the year off, it's him if he wants to. But he's so red hot right now. I don't know if that's like something the UFC would actually do. So it's interesting.
I don't even bother trying to overthink what the UFC wants to do or what they're going to do. It's just we throw ideas out there. Then the UFC goes, Steve Harris said, "You're fighting a main event title fight." I'm like, all right. It's fun to talk about, but sometimes I don't know. The UFC does what they want to do. All right.
I figured this was coming at some point. Which fighter has the most to lose on this card? This is on the whole card. It seems pretty easy to me. It's Belal Muhammad because he ain't ever getting another title shot. I don't
I don't 100%
say
believe
that about.
that.
You don't?
But
I do.
If it's a good fight,
It's going to have to be a fight of the year contender. Fight of the year contender. And it's a bad decision. Like if everyone feels like Belal won and then Leon wins the splitty and Danny goes to the press conference and says Belal won, I think Belal won. That's different. I just don't see a path for him, man. They're just going to throw him to the wolves.
See, I guess maybe when I see the term most to lose, he's kind of got the title shot. So I'm thinking most to lose, like say someone like I'm just throwing an example, like Bobby Green loses, like he's never getting a title shot if he loses against Paddy Pimblett. It's like, so what are we talking about when we say most to lose? Like, is it just most potential income they can make? Or someone on a 3-fight losing streak, if they lose tonight, they'll be released from the UFC. Like, what do we what does most to lose mean?
I think you kind of have to define it in your own way because I feel like it's Bobby Green most times, and then he gets he'll get knocked out by Jalen Turner. We're like, all right, well, he's done. And then he goes and fights Jim Miller and has like the performance of a lifetime, and now he's fighting Paddy Pimblett. So I feel like a guy like Bobby is in a good spot. Like if he goes on a run and gets the title, like that's great, but no one expects that from him. You know what I mean? Like they just want to see him fight people because he's an entertaining guy and he's fun to watch. Belal, like what is there for him? He's not Max Holloway where he could just go bounce up and down and fight for BMF titles and stuff like that. Like this is it. Like this is his chance. If he wants to become a world champion and make all that money, like this is it. This is his chance. And if he doesn't get it tonight, like I just don't see a path for him to get back, or he's going to have to win like 6 in a row.
Which he did to get the title shot already. So who knows?
Right. But he was never really like in the mix. And then they called him up on short notice to fight Gilbert Burns to save the card, which was ridiculous. The fight didn't make an extra dime for the company. And he wins, and then he sits and has to watch Colby fight for the belt. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's him. I feel like it's clearly him. And Shaheen asked a really interesting question on the preview show, and I have continued to ponder it. I don't know if anybody needs a win more than Belal Muhammad in like a long ass time. Like, I feel like he needs this one more than most that I can remember. He needs this to happen tonight.
I actually think that who has the most to lose in terms of bank account, potential bank account numbers, is Tom Aspinall.
Yeah. No, I could see that.
Because, I mean, I'm assuming good things that John will actually fight Stipe. That fight will actually happen, and John will agree to unify the belts. And of course, Tom would need to win. And Tom loses, it's just not happening ever.
Yeah, so he loses the John Jones fight. He loses all opportunity at John Jones if he loses tonight. But overall,
he loses the opportunity to become the greatest heavyweight ever in the UFC. I think if he wins and then John beats Stipe and just retires, I guess, John won't be considered the greatest heavyweight. He might, go all that kind of stuff, maybe. But I don't think we're going to consider John the greatest heavyweight ever.
But Stipe lost twice. Stipe got knocked out by DC and then got killed by Francis. And people still consider him the greatest of all time. And Tom's still so young.
Who says that?
He can get back.
Who really says that? Who says Stipe?
A lot of people do. Dana does, and when Dana says it, a lot of other people do.
Yeah, Dana says whatever he's trying to sell that
UFC heavyweight champ. He's probably the greatest UFC heavyweight champion of all time because he's the only one that's defended the title as much as he has. But no one defends that title a lot. I don't know. I think like Tom loses the John fight, but I don't think he gets it. I don't think he's going to get it anyways. At least not for a really long time. So if he loses tonight, it'll suck. He'll have to go win another fight, and he may not get the chance to fight for a belt as long as Curtis is still holding some sort of championship. But the second he loses it, Tom's right back in. You know what I mean? Like the UFC goes to the UK a bunch. He's popular over there. They love him. And he's super young. Like he's still super talented.
Tom can lose and still win the belt back. I'm talking about that kind of that you want to call him the greatest ever heavyweight. You know, that's all. That's what I'm kind of going at. But I think in terms, Arnold Allen, if he loses tonight.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough.
I think actually it kind of as far as like getting potentially a title shot eventually, like Belal has a title shot. This is his shot. Tom's already champion. If Arnold Allen loses tonight, will he ever get a title shot? Because he's clearly a top tier. He's right there, and he lost two. Who did he lose to? He lost to Max and Movzar. I thought two competitive fights. I actually thought he won the Movzar fight. But if he loses tonight against Giga,
if he loses to Giga, that's tough scenes. That's tough.
And it's not because it's not disrespect to Giga. It's just 3 L's in a row, no matter who they are. That's all. All right. Thank you much. Ooh.
Chase, my worst nightmare could possibly come true in a matter of hours. The entire welterweight division could be ruined, and I'm truly terrified. Listen, Chase. I'm here to tell you something, okay? I firmly believe, deep down right here in my heart of hearts, that whoever wins this fight is going to lose to Shavkat Rakhmonov anyways. So if Belal somehow beats Leon, they're not going to give him a rematch. It's not going to be anything like that unless it's just like a fight of the year contender. It becomes Yuri, Glover, something like that. Shavkat's next unless he wants to stay busy. And even if he stays busy, who is he going to fight? They got to throw him in there with Ian Gary. They got to throw him in there with Usman. I think he wins both of those fights. If Belal wins, I don't think his title run is going to last very long because he's going to have to fight that dude. And it ain't going to be good for him, I don't think. Or anybody else, for that matter. He's the champ in waiting, in my opinion. Saying that for a while.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to be too terrified. Put your nightlight away. You'll sleep comfortably.
Okay. It's Belal Muhammad. The hate, is it real? Is this almost like just a joke right now? We just kind of, it's just fun. It just seems so exaggerated right now. I just feel, I don't know.
I think it's a little much. It's a little much, but he does say like just such ridiculous things that like
they
leads
all
people to
say
feel that
ridiculous.
way.
Every one of them say ridiculous things. I get it. I just think it's just,
The
I'm kind of
GSP
like,
one was like, oh boy, and he just believe like that. He believes. You could see it in his eyes that he believes that. But everything he says at the press conference and everything he said to John Anik after the fact, like after the ceremonial weigh-ins, like he didn't even like he himself doesn't believe what he's saying. So, I mean, this would be an incredible win for him if he does it. Like, it's an incredible feat. It's Strickland-esque.
I just feel like we were saying the same thing about Leon before he was champ. Like I was like, oh, Leon Edwards, and then it happens, and all of a sudden when you win, winning solves everything, especially as a champion. I can't recall. Remind me, has there been, say Belal wins tonight? Has there been a champion that everyone's just going like, oh, great, they're the champion in a while? Like when was the last time we had that? Like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that fight because he's the champ. Demetrius. People were like that when Demetrius was the champ. When he was the champ. When he was a champ, people really just didn't appreciate Demetrius as a champion. But
the UFC didn't do him any favors either. They just buried him.
Shevchenko a little bit. People were kind of Shevchenko a little bit.
Not at 25. No, not at 25. They knew it was her time. They knew it was her time. When she did it, she beat Joanna, and that was a damn good fight.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like who is it hated so much.
But the moment was just so like the way she did it almost made people forget about it.
Yeah,
like all the things that she said.
That's
just
what
going
I mean.
out.
If Belal actually wins tonight, I think just the fact that he wins and us seeing it kind of will erase a lot of. I'm very interested. I don't know how the public fandom will take Belal as champion if he wins, and I guess we got to see how it happens. Even if he can hold Leon down for 25 minutes, and it's an incredibly boring fight, but he wins the championship. GSP did that plenty of times. I mean, are we gonna? I don't know.
It won't be good. It won't be good if that happens, and it could. But the overall appeal of it will not age well.
Right.
It'd be. I mean, look, make that money. Like that's his best chance to win. Is take Leon down, and put him on his back, and hold him there. Like to me, that's how he wins tonight.
Yeah, that's a win. Yeah. That's a great win.
And then be exciting after. Be exciting after you win the belt. Run off some defenses, build that bank account, and then be as exciting as you want. But I just don't. I don't see it. I could be wrong. I don't see it. But at least like when Leon fought Usman, people thought Leon could win. Like there was like people looked at it as like, yeah, he could win. Like he has a good chance of winning. And I don't think the betting odds were like that crazy. And a lot of people saw paths to victory. I'm not seeing a lot of that here.
Well, the first 4 rounds of the Usman fight, I mean, that's all Belal has to do.
Leon won the first round. He had a mountain, almost finished Usman in the first round.
Well, Usman was on his way to winning the fight.
He was. He was.
That's what I mean. Like,
just kick him in the face. Oh, dude, how crazy would that be? If like Leon just dominates him and then pulls an H2O Silv and gets like starts feeling himself and then gets colded. Oof.
Well, that's what I mean. And if it happens, the storyline completely changes. Just completely changes. And all of a sudden, we just forget all of those, 25-minute whatever fights that we had to watch. And
all the bad call-outs and everything else.
All right.
Don't call. Let me ask you this before we get to the super chat. If Belal wins tonight, true or false, he calls out Conor McGregor.
Hey, if this is about making money, then he should
He's
call
calling
it
out
Conor
Connor.
McGregor.
There's no doubt in my mind. He's calling out Connor.
Yeah. No, I thought you were going to say he's going to challenge the winner of Izzy and DDP.
Oh my god. That would be worse. That'd be the only thing worse.
He's going for 2 belts already. That'd be great. I hope he does that. I'm really pulling for that now. All right.
Oh my god. Biggest upset, King Green winning. You agree? How's that? Green's the favorite, is he not?
That's the biggest upset.
It's a coin flip. Green is the slight favorite, -115. Patty Pimblett -105. I have a bet on Patty Pimblett. I got him at plus 120. But I was going to bet on whoever the underdog was anyways. If I got a plus 120 on either one of these guys, I was taking it. I got it on Patty, so I took it. Because I think it's a 50-50 fight.
That's not an upset at all. Maybe if he wins by out grappling him, that'll be an upset in the path to victory. But just getting the
It's not an upset if you're the favorite. Giga winning would be an upset. Belal winning would be an upset. Curtis Blades winning, upset. Yeah, those are upsets. Patty even winning at -105 right now is not an up. Is like the smallest upset ever, but not even truly an upset. Yeah, that's not an upset.
No, it's not an upset. But thank you.
The only upset that would be the Co-op Live because they will be pissed.
Yeah,
if Patty loses. The loose joints. Makhachev and Kopp on a prelims is a big mistake. I don't hate that it's on the prelims. I just wish it was like the last fight before the pay-per-view. Like that's the spot it deserves to be on.
If it was the
high stakes fight, it'll be the most watched fight of the night, including the main event. It deserves to be in that spot. At least it's not on Fight Pass anymore, so that's good. But
to answer your question, loose joints, yes, big mistake. Don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't like it. It's bad for the division. It's kind of what's the word? Self-fulfilling prophecy. The fact that nobody likes flyweights, no one cares. Well, yeah, don't bury them on prelims. Just.
I mean, Makhayev's got the contract thing, and on top of that, I don't think like everyone's like, this is a Kopp thing. I don't think it is. I think they think Makhayev's just gonna take Kopp down and sit on him for 15 minutes, which would be terrible. I'm hoping we don't see that. I don't think we're going to. I think these guys are gonna scrap it out a little bit. Will Makhachev get a couple of takedowns? Probably. But I don't know.
Yeah, as far as I remember, has anyone, as far as Kopp's losses, he hasn't lost by really just getting stuck on his back. Like
Not that I can remember.
Pantoja straight beat him. That was like his only real just straight. Okay, he lost that fight. It wasn't really competitive. And Pantoja's.
I thought Kopp beat Nicolau.
Yeah, I thought Kopp beat Nicolau. I think most of us did, and he's won the rest. And then he had a lot of weird, injuries and But yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, and it is a big mistake. I'm bummed. All right. I don't love that. Okay, sorry, reading weird things. Another super chat coming in.
Fahim, UFC Noche 4 out of 10 for Sphere, 8 out of 10 for regular pay-per-view. So he's saying because that's Sphere, this is a 4 out of 10, but if this wasn't at Sphere, this is an 8 out of 10?
I guess.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's 2 title fights, right?
2 title fights. You get Diego Lopez, Brian Ortega, and then you just have a bunch of fun fights featuring Mexican fighters who are either been given squash matches or they're in like scraps, like real fun fights. Like I like the card. I don't know what everybody was expecting. Like with all the talk about how much money it was costing in production and putting this all together and all that stuff, I just don't know what everybody was expecting. You got 2 title fights. You have a pivotal divisional ranking battle with one of your rising stars against a 2-time title challenger. Like that's a good fight. It's pretty good. And then just a lot of low-key bangers. Like Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic is fire. That fight is awesome.
I guess the big question is going to be once Fight Week comes around, where's the mainstream media going to be? What are they going to be covering that week? Because there's something going on down the street.
That's true.
And
Canelo's fighting.
and in particular, what I
But he's
wonder
fighting
what
a dude that he's going to murder. Let's be honest. He's going to smash this dude. And I know it's a big deal. I know. But this is my one issue with this Sphere card. And it's not an issue with the card itself. The UFC is going, especially now that this Canelo thing is happening, the UFC is going to blow this off, like blow this up so much. And they're going to have so much effing fun with this that we're going to like have 300 vibes with this whole thing. And then when it's over and we go back to the world's most famous Apex again, we're going to be like, you remember how fun 306 was? Like, this is the UFC at their best. All the vibes we felt at 300, the positive spirits we all had coming out of that. Like, I feel like we're going to get the same thing here. And then it's just going to go away. And we're going to be like, damn it. Like, that was so fun. Can't we go back to that? That's my one issue. Because we're going to get the absolute best of the UFC machine on September 14th and the entire week. And then we won't see the best of them again until maybe MSG week because John Jones is fighting, but still not to that same level.
I'm still not 100% sold on how this Spear thing is going to look because it's made to look awesome for people who are there. But 99.9% people watching the fight are not going to be in the arena. So I'm just wondering I don't know. I don't know. And there hasn't been a sporting event in there yet. I don't think. It's only been concerts, and obviously concerts are very different than a sporting event. So I just don't know. Is it just going to look like just fights with just really big jumbotrons everywhere? I don't know. So I guess that's
going to be like WWE doing the. Is it going to look like that, where it's just like a bunch of zoomed in crowd?
Stuff? Yeah. The pandemic crowds. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fun.
The ticket prices are insane, by the way.
Yeah, like I don't.
They are absolutely insane. Between $3,000 tickets, $5,000 tickets.
The UFC has never blown me away as far as like just creativity. When they went to Fight Island,
tickets start at $2,289, and they go up to $18,730 right now via StubHub.
That is insane, and it costs $100 to park. I hear. I guess if you can afford $12,000 tickets, you can afford $100 to park. I don't know. It's weird.
It's crazy.
I hope it's a success. I don't want it to fail, obviously.
It's a one and done, so yeah, save up your money and go. And apparently they're not going to do this again, so
well, I wonder why
they don't have to do
it.
But
why if it's a big success, why are they? But you know what, they said that about BMF, the BMF belt too. We're only one and done, but we'll bring it out when we need to. So
yeah, but they don't need to do this.
What's the UFC need to do? They can just go, I mean, they've already, the game's over.
They can literally go anywhere right now. They can literally go anywhere with any card and make a whole lot of money.
Yeah, we've
Plus
seen
this new TV deals coming up, and it's going to be so lucrative for them.
Yeah. I'm just more interested, how would the Spear look on TV? Because we know it look cool in the arena, but also we don't know it's going to, because, you watch like the Grateful Dead or they're all like kind of cool kaleidoscopes, or like, I don't know, like you're falling down a canyon or something cool looking. I don't know what we're going to be watching the fight. It's just really big versions of Brian Ortega. Like there's Brian Ortega everywhere. I know, like, we hope it's going to be cool, but I just don't know what it's going to be. Like, I don't know. Like,
I think that's kind of part of the appeal. I think that's part of the appeal, though, is like, what is this going to look like?
Yeah, and like, will it look good on TV, like in the same way?
Yeah. But yeah, this is what I expected. It's a good card. Yes, we lost Fluffy Hernandez versus Michelle Pereira, but
they got moved. Oh, bummer. Why did they get moved? Do you know?
You not read MMAfighting.com, Casey? Come on.
There's a lot of news. There's a lot of news.
They're moving to the world's most famous Apex, Casey, on October 18th, but they're in a main event. They're getting a main event, 5 rounds. So they're getting a nice little bump in pay, and they're the main event. And there's no way that fight's going to suck. So
5 rounds.
I'm in.
Yeah.
5 rounds. It ain't going
good.
5.
That's good for Fluffy though. 5 rounds is good for Fluffy for sure. I think.
Yeah.
Extra rounds and smaller cage. No, I knew that fight was moved. I meant why. Do we know why?
Because they offered him the main event.
All right.
I found out like right before we went live on the preview show yesterday that this is being discussed and that contracts were sent out already. We just hadn't fully confirmed it yet. But yeah, there's no injury or anything like that. They just were like, hey, Spear's cool, but you want to just do a main event instead and make more money? And they're like, bet, let's go.
Yeah, money.
There you go.
All right. This is Super Chat. Back to Chase. I guess referring to Belal Muhammad.
No joke, pure unadulterated hatred. I like Belal. Like, I do like him. I followed his career well before the UFC, interviewed him well before he's in the UFC. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I haven't interviewed him in forever. That's not my doing. I don't even think it's necessarily his doing, but it is what it is. It's all good. And it'd be cool to see a guy that I interviewed while he's on the regional scene win a UFC title. Pretty wild. Kenny Powers, with the heavyweight division being so top heavy, where do you see it in 3 years? John Jones still the undisputed champion, but hasn't fought at all.
He hasn't fought at all. Dana White's still claiming. Dana White's still yelling at us for not ranking him higher.
I don't know, man.
Is there any new names?
I don't know.
Are there any? 3 years ago from here, so 2021.
Parker Porter is the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yes. Wait, hold on.
Parker Porter, heavyweight champion. Headlining UFC 387 will be Parker Porter versus Robelis de Spain for the heavyweight title.
See, I want to see Parker Porter in the spear. Just to have him 360 around us. Yes.
Oh, be incredible. What a card to come back to. Do the thing. Do the thing, UFC. Come on. PFL is just continuously dropping the ball on this. They should have locked him up ages ago.
So in 2021, what was the heavyweight division like in UFC? 2021.
Stipe and DC just fighting each other a whole lot.
So they're both retired. Okay, so both retired. It was old.
Well, that's when Francis beat. That was when Francis knocked out Stipe. He was the champion, right? And then he fought Cyril Gane in January of 22, which was the last fight of his run. He won with the torn knee, and then became a free agent. And the whole year is about whether or not Francis is going to re-sign or not.
Yeah.
So the DC Stipe rivalry just ended, and then Francis beat Stipe. That's where the heavyweight division was.
So 3 years from now.
And then, I forgot about this. They booked, if you recall, like 2 months later, an interim heavyweight title fight between Cyril Gane and Derek Lewis in Houston. Like 2 months after Francis won the belt. Remember that?
I forgot.
That was in May. Maybe it was 4 months after. But Francis just won the freaking title.
That was one of the worst ones. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. 3 years. In 3 years, who... So we have John, assuming he's active, Aspinall, Blades, who else? Throw in Pavlovich. Are they... Who's another guy that's right there? Who am I missing? Kind of like right in that. Gone.
Volkov.
Gone. Oh, gone. Volkov, yeah. Are they still in that kind of top 5 in 3 years?
Gone, probably.
I'm not counting contract disputes. Maybe they go to a different organization or anything. Just assuming,
I think Gone can be there. He's still got
Aspinall is the one guy.
Aspinall
definitely
be there.
1 or 2. Yeah.
But who knows just what the sport looks like in 3 years?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who else is around? Does BKFC go up another level? Is the MMA crossover to boxing like bigger? Is PFL like a real player? Because in 3 years, they should officially be the co-leader, right? This is the timeline that they have laid out. Like,
Maybe in
where's the
3.
sport at in 3 years?
Yeah,
Is the question.
Is Dana White still running things in 3 years?
Yes, he sure
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, he would.
Unless
Yeah.
something like real bad happens and he has to step away, yeah, he'll be there for sure. Is power slap a big thing? Who the hell knows? That's right, Paka.
I hate you mentioning power slap because I think if you are a fan of that stupid sport, it would look pretty cool in the spear. Just,
It would.
right.
I wonder what they'll do.
I'm not sure what the super chat means, but I'll throw it up there.
Osborne is opening the main card. Come on, Mike. Yeah, but do you know why he's opening the main? Do you know why he's opening the main card? Because he's either getting somebody or he's getting got like real quick. That fight is on opening the main card because it is a tone setter. Someone's going night in 3 minutes, and it's going to be a highlight reel finish. So that is why that is opening up the main card, because someone's going to sleep real quick and real violently. Ali went from having all the champs to one. I think it's better for the sport. In interviews, what are your thoughts? Who is likely next? Not Belal Muhammad. Kayla.
Kayla.
Kayla's going to win a belt for sure, especially in that division. No disrespect, it's just the way it is. Who's his champion right now?
Islam.
Oh, Islam. Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
what a moron! What a moron I am.
Hey, Islam. He's got Pico's right there. I know Pico's a different organization, but I consider Pico just extraordinary.
I mean, Minal Cop, Ankalaev would be
Cop's
fighting for a
dude?
belt.
Cop's
dude. Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Why do you think I haven't talked to him in 3 years?
Oh, is that why? What is going on with that man? Come on, Ali.
The last time I talked to him was what the hell happened? Something. It was the night before his fight. He was supposed to fight somebody, and like something happened.
Yeah, I remember.
I ended up interviewing him like the night before the fight. I forget what it was. Oh no, he was the backup fighter before he made his debut for the flyweight title fight between Moreno and Figgy, and he made weight, but he wasn't needed. So I talked to him before that, and he said like he would still step in and fight both of them at the same time and stuff. Like, it was good stuff. But it was like the night before that card.
Wait, so he was the backup fighter, made weight, and he didn't get the next title shot? Come on, Dana.
No, he hadn't even fought yet. He hadn't even had a UFC fight yet. He was already the backup fighter. Incredible.
All right.
Just the best.
What was it? Who was like? Oh, we answered the question. Yeah, Kayla. All right. Yeah. So what else we got here?
We'll take like one or two more, and then we'll do our predictions.
More Belal hate questions. Here we go.
Who gets loudest cheer coming out tonight? Patty? Ugh.
I think it's Tom.
It depends. Because it's gonna be it's gonna be Molly, and she'll be the flag bearer until Patty comes out. Then Patty will get the loudest pop. If Patty wins, then Tom will then be the loudest based on the happiness of Patty winning. And then if Tom also wins, then the answer will be Leon, because everyone will be ready to blow the freaking roof off the building. So if it was like individual things, like if they were in all different buildings with the same amount of people and each fight was in a different building, which fighter in their own building would get the loudest pop? It's Patty. I think it's Patty.
That's what a friend asked me. Like, she was asking me about Patty. It's like, is he really good? Like, I hear people talk about him, and it's like, why is he such a big name? I was like, I'm not sure, but maybe he has a cool haircut. I don't know. So maybe you're better at this. I think you're better. You have a better idea of the pulse of the MMA fandom is. Why is Patty such a star?
I mean, there's a lot. The hair is obviously a part of it. That's like the initial
Because
gimmick.
it's not the actual fights. The fights are cool. All right, the fights are whatever.
Like here's a big
So
deal. Like the Irish media and the UK media did a great job of like building him up and putting him out there for everybody to see. And then he went on a nice little run in Cage Warriors. Did he get gifted a couple of wins? He sure did. The Julian Erosa fight in particular, I thought he lost. I thought Julian Erosa won that fight, but that's neither here nor there. And then when Paddy got signed to the UFC made a big deal out of it. And they put him over and, they presented him and gave him opportunities to speak. And people got to feel a certain way about him. And that's the difference between the Paddy Pimbletts of the world and even the Leon Edwardses of the world. Like Leon is popular in the UK. He's getting more popular globally because of the head kick and being a champion and all of that. And he's getting out there and people are getting to know him more. But Paddy's like John Cena, man. Like you either love the guy or you want to throw trash at his face. But either way, you care about Paddy, whether positively or negatively. There's no, yeah, he's okay. No one thinks that about Paddy. There's only two lanes to go down. You either are a huge Paddy guy or you fucking hate this guy. And there's no in between. And that's like a sellable thing that not all fighters have.
I think the most impressive part about Paddy is like he's not even top 15. He's not even anywhere near top 10. And yet we're giving him this kind of like main event pay-per-view type. We talk about him like he's a main eventer on a pay-per-view. And the guy's not even sniffed top 10 in the UFC.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing on him, and credit to him. Credit to the UFC for promoting him, which the UFC are promoters, so they are doing their job. So I'm just kind of like, wow, I don't know. That's just impressive to me. I'm not a fan of Paddy as far as yeah.
It's different with this fight too, because the Jared Gordon fight, there's all the drama with Ariel and all that stuff going on, and people were just totally against Paddy at that point. Like they were just done with him. A little different for the Ferguson fight. It seems like, up until Ferguson sort of poked the bear a little bit, Paddy was very respectful of Tony, and he beat him, and he looked pretty good doing it. Looked in good physical shape, and then in the build to this fight, like there's not a lot of negativity surrounding Paddy here. Gets a new deal, which good on him. I still think he should have waited, but I'm not him. Yeah. So he made his own decision. He just took the risk out of it altogether. I just thought it made the fight way more intriguing. It's still very intriguing. But if he goes in there and just risks it all to fight Bobby Green and then gets to negotiate with the UFC on a new deal, because he's not leaving, and I knew he wouldn't leave, but he'd have a ranking next to his name at 155. His value just goes up. But maybe the UFC just paid him that way anyways. I don't know. I was in the negotiating room. Maybe they just see so much value in him, they overpaid for him. And if that's the case, then dude, pen to paper. But yeah, he generates emotion. Not all fighters can do that.
And I think you know that he generates emotion. He gets people engaged. You know, so
do you remember when they announced Paddy Pimblett versus Tony Ferguson? No one cared about any other fight on the card. Nobody. Nobody cared. No one cared that Colby was fighting Leon. Nobody cared that Royval was fighting Pantoja. Nobody cared about any other fight on the card. Everyone just wanted to react to that one.
Yeah,
nobody cared.
Yeah, Paddy amazed me because, I mean, we talk about the Chandler hype, even the Conor hype or whatever, but all those guys were near the top, or they've been at the top. Paddy hasn't been anywhere near there, so I'm just it's unique to me, and I'm very fascinated by. I'm still fascinated after all these years how fighters become stars, and there's never a singular path to do that, because clearly winning fights isn't the path to become a star. No, that's just not just getting W's. That's just a path to stay employed, I guess. But becoming a star is something totally different, and it changes all the time. And there's really no, I don't know. It's just it's wild.
Damn you, UFC.com. Oh no! Fucking goddamn it! We're already in the third round of the first fight. I looked before I set the start time. It said on UFC.com/events 6:15. We're already in the third round of Shauna Bannon and the TikTok girl. What the hell? What the hell, man? Oh my God. All right. Prediction.
UFC.com is one of the worst places to go for UFC news,
God,
by
they
the way.
screwed me two times in a
UFC.com.
row, dude. They're terrible.
All right, let me. Okay. What?
Do you have any more super chats? Or are we good?
Yeah, I mean, a couple more super chats real quick because
All right. And then we'll get the hell out of here. Chances UFC 313 is held in Detroit. Probably no chance. 313 F free world. 313 F free world. Hashtag 8 Mile. Let's go.
Yeah,
They should do that, but they won't.
unless the citizens of Detroit want to use their good taxpayer money to pay for the UFC to come to Detroit, it ain't happening. Sorry.
It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, you know, we don't need clean water in Michigan. Let's get the UFC here.
Priorities, Casey.
Priorities. And that super chat.
If the John versus Aspinall fight happens and John gets away with a dodgy decision, do you think it tarnishes his legacy? No, because he won. He's had so many.
Question.
First of all, he's also had two dodgy decisions. Thiago Santos and which John, like when you talk to John Anik, he thinks the Santos decision was more egregious than the Reyes one. Like he stands on that hill. He goes, no one can ever tell me different that Thiago Santos lost that. Like he won. He should have been the champion.
I had Santos and Reyes both winning those fights. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it doesn't tarnish his legacy.
No, actually, if anything, it just if John can win a dodgy decision, that actually almost does make John the GOAT because
yes, the cards
in a weird, stupid way. Like he can lose and he still wins, and that's I don't know that's some amazing work. So yeah. Quick, we're good. We're good on super chats. Everything good. You want to do our picks real quick?
Someone just tweeted, Mike Heck Jr., I know it sounds ridiculous, but I swear Patty was referring to you on Embedded about his contract signing. For the millionth time, let me just say this again. I never once said Patty should leave the UFC. Never, ever. In fact, I knew he would stay there. And in fact, he should stay there. What I was saying was, don't resign before you fight King Green. Go out there, fight him, win, and then go to the table. Coming off of another win and a ranking next to your name because your value is higher than it would have been signing before the fight. That's all I was saying. I'm not telling him to go elsewhere. There were like Patty was like, for all the people who thought I was leaving, go F yourself. I'm not one of those people. I didn't tell him to leave. I don't want him to leave. I think he'd be crazy if he left.
Well, why go F yourself? I'm just like, even like, oh, Patty, leave. Go chase the big check. Like that's what we're in this. That's what we're in this for.
Your value goes up. You say, hey, look, I'm a free agent now. I'm gonna take some time. Boom. PFL calls. Hey, PFL just offered me $1 million to fight to go fight for them. I don't want to fight for them, but that's what they offered me. UFC says, all right, well, we're not going to give you $1 million to fight, but we'll bump you up to this. And then Patty says, all right, cool. I'm back with the UFC. Like, cool. There you go. Your value just went up. That's all I was saying. People got to listen. Listen. I didn't say don't resign. I said don't resign now. Wow. Wait. Be patient. Go win. Put it all on the line. Make the risk pay off. And then make more money. That's all I was saying. And I do think Patty Pimblett's going to win tonight. I might be crazy, but I think he's going to win. With that said, let's just go right to the picks, Casey. Let's just go right to the picks. Bonuses, who the fuck knows what they're going to do. So let's just go right to the picks. So let's go right to the main card. We have Arnold Allen taking on Giga Chikadze. According to our wonderful friends at DraftKings, Arnold Allen, big favorite, minus 258. Come back on Giga Chikadze, plus 210. Are you picking Arnold Allen here?
I'm picking Arnold Allen by 29-28 in a very close, fun fight. Fun, violent. Both guys are going to be very bruised up after this fight, but I'm actually very excited for this fight.
I have a bet on Arnold Allen by decision. Got him at minus 102, and I'm sticking with it. My pick is Arnold Allen. Let's go to the next fight on the card. Middleweights, we have Christian Leroy Duncan, the minus 130 favorite. Money coming in on RoboCop, Greg Rodriguez comes back at plus 110. I actually bet on RoboCop. I got him at plus 125. I think he gets the slight upset victory because he doesn't need to go ham. He can just take CLD down a whole bunch, and that's good enough to win. I don't see him doing that, but I just think he's been in there with better guys. He's more experienced inside the octagon. None of this shit's going to rattle him. I think he goes out there and gets a finish round 2 in what I think will be the fight of the night, Casey.
These two gentlemen are on the main card for one reason, and it is so they are slobber knocking, and RoboCop will win by first round KO. But it's a coin. But they're gonna go. There's just gonna be a stupid, bloody, violent fight for about 2 minutes.
It's gonna be fun as hell, man. Fun as hell. All right, let's go to the feature bout. We've been talking about it for a while. King Green, minus 118 favorite. The comeback on Patrick the Batty Pimblett, minus 102. It's a coin flip. Both guys got minus numbers next to the names. I already laid it out there. I have a bet on Patty Pimblett. I think Patty wins this fight. Got him at plus 115. So there you go. Patty Pimblett by decision. Fun fight. I think Patty's going to get takedowns late and win the fight.
I got King Green winning by decision.
Okay. That's a good one. I honestly have no idea what this fight's going to look like. So very much intrigued by it. Co-main event, interim heavyweight title, Tommy Aspinall, the huge favorite, minus 395. The comeback on Curtis Blades, plus 310. Casey, who you got?
Competitive first round, but Tommy's got them hands. Knockout second round.
Tommy Aspinall KO round 2. That's what I believe is going to happen. Although I'm doing the dumb thing. I'm taking the value play on Curtis Blades. I have a bet on Curtis Blades. I don't think he's going to win, but I'm taking a shot on the value because this should be lined closer in my opinion. I got him at plus 295, and oh well. It's just a value play. I think Curtis should be like a minus 230 or something like that.
They're heavyweights.
Tommy's really good.
Tommy says that all the time. He's like, we're freaking heavyweights, man. Anything can happen in there.
Yeah. If Curtis gets takedowns, it's not easy to get that man off of you. So let's see if he can pull it off and what an upset would be. And if he does so, sets the table for his fellow Chicagoan, Belal. Remember the name Muhammad. He comes in as the challenger and the plus 215 underdog to the champ, the reigning defending welterweight king, Leon Edwards, minus 265. Your final pick, Casey, for UFC 304.
Round 5, TKO. But it's gonna be a questionable stoppage. But the new champion will be Belal Muhammad.
Oh my God!
He's gonna drop him, do a couple, and the refs go, "Oh, it's too violent. I gotta stop the fight." And Leon's gonna bounce up like, "What?" And then we're gonna get a rematch. And Shafkat is gonna sit on the sidelines.
Poor Chase. He's gonna lose his mind. Not only does Belal be the champion, they run this shit back again. Oh my God, he's gonna lose it. Leon Edwards by decision. I laid it out. I have Leon as a parlay piece. I also have this fight going over 2.5 rounds as another parlay piece. Leon's going to look real good early. He's going to win the first 13 minutes of this fight very comfortably. Belal gains momentum in round 3, loses the round. There might be a couple people who think Belal actually came back to steal it. Belal wins round 4. Round 5 is tooth and nail, hammer and tongs, real close, game of inches. And in the end, Leon Edwards wins 4 rounds to 1 on one judge's scorecard, 3 rounds to 2 on the others. And my bet will cash because I have a bet on Belal Muhammad at plus 5.5 points. I don't think he wins the fight, but I do think he's competitive enough to cover 5.5 points in the overall scorecards. So there you go.
What about the people's main event, Manel Kopp versus am I forgetting his name right now?
How dare you? How dare you? I have a bet on Muhammad Makhachev. I have a bet on Manel Kopp, excuse me. I have a bet on Manel Kopp, got him at plus 130. I have Manel, my official MMA fighting staff pick is Manel caught by first round knockout. I think he's going to come out like an
Manel
absolute
Kape,
heathen.
yes. 30
He's gonna come out
seconds.
like a heathen.
Knock him
But
out 30.
here's the thing. If he don't knock, honestly, in my heart of hearts, if he don't knock out Muhammad Mokaev in the first round, he's not winning the fight.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I see it. But we'll see. We'll see. I got a bet on Manel Kape. So let's see. I also, if you want an upset pick, and I'm not confident in this, but I feel this is another value play. I have a bet on Daniel Pineda. I got him at plus 325 against Nathaniel
Oh, he's
Wood.
a big underdog too.
He's plus 310 now. The dude is just so unpredictable. I don't know if he wins, but he shouldn't be this big of an underdog against Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood got thumped up quite a bit in his most recent fight. Sure, Muhammad Naimov cheated a whole bunch, and there were no points taken, but he thumped Nathaniel Wood around proper a little bit, and I definitely think Daniel Pineda can do the same. So we'll see what happens. I guess one fight is over. Go enjoy the rest of the card, at least the prelims, and we will see you at 9:45 p.m. Eastern for the watch party. Shout out to Jose Young's Boots on the Ground. For Casey, I am Mike Heck. Let's have some effing fun tonight. We'll see you later on.
Bye.